Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another exciting Cooking with Denoy episode inside the van, inside Little Blue 2. You can see we are currently in a parking lot. I am about to try to cook using the butane system to make some Dollar Tree Rotini. This Columbia Rotini here. I'm not gonna make all of it. This is a lot of food. I'm gonna try to make just enough for one serving, maybe a little bit left over. Maybe try to get it down to one serving, although I don't know, I really need to cook up these sausages. Maybe I can save it till tomorrow. So I'm just gonna use one sausage. I'm gonna try to make one serving because otherwise I'm gonna end up with a mess. But the plan is to go ahead and heat up some hot water here and drop in the rotini and also put in the meat and let it all cook at once. Then add, let the water actually evaporate. Add the Prego sauce and some mixed vegetables. And we'll top it off with the feta cheese. And that's going to be today's meal. So the first thing I'm gonna do is pour some water in here and boil that up. All right, I put in some water, hopefully enough water. And I am gonna go ahead and start the system up. There we go, we got the fire going. And I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit to conserve our gas. Wow, look at it, you can see it evaporating already. This is heating up very fast. I'm gonna put the lid on it and let that kind of heat up and start to boil. Then I'm gonna toss in this rotini here and see if we can't get that to cook up. All right, the water is heating up very quickly. And I am going to pour in some of this rotini. Yeah, try to just eyeball it and not put too much in, but I want to make sure I have enough to fill my tummy up. Oops. So I think that's going to be enough for one person. Maybe even more than enough for one person, probably 2 meals out of it. But I am planning on eating all of it tonight if I can. I don't really have a space to save it. Alright, I got my light working again. I just replaced the battery. While this is boiling up, I am going to go ahead and toss in, turn down the heat a little bit more. I want to make sure the flame is still lit. I'm going to go ahead and cut up one of these sausages, these John Morrell hot smoked sausages made with chicken, pork, and beef from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut one up and into little slices and drop it in there and let that cook up. Here then are my sliced sausages. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit more. Let it bubble up a little bit. And we're going to mix all this up so it can cook. I think that's enough sausages for one person here. So we're just going to let this kind of cook up and evaporate. Then I'm going to add the sauce. I know some people said that you can actually cook it with the sauce by itself. You don't even need water. But then I tried that before and it kind of dries out. So I went ahead and am boiling it with the water right now to soften up the noodles. And then I'll be adding some of this meat sauce, actually the whole can of meat sauce. So I'm trying to see if this water will evaporate. And then I'll go ahead and add the sauce. You can see everything is cooking up nicely. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to limit cooking in here to mostly boiling things, heating things up like this. I'm not going to do so much frying because oil splatter goes everywhere. My last attempt to cook the pork ribs in here had oil everywhere, and also my vehicle, because it blows it up here into the what's this called here? The liner, the headliner. So it starts to smell like pork, like barbecue pork is what my car smells like. It smells like a Chinese restaurant. Anyhow, I am going to go ahead and add the Prego meat sauce here in just a moment, and then toss in the mixed vegetables and let this thing simmer up. I noticed when I remove the lid, the boiling goes down. Let me go ahead and stir up the food a little bit. So I think this is actually enough to serve 2 or 3 people. And I have leftovers. Now, I bought the Prego with the, what's this, lift lid? What's it called? Just a lid that you can actually lift instead of having to use a can opener because it's easier to use. But I got this from Dollar Tree, so it's pretty cool that they have it for $1, and it, you know, it doesn't require a can opener. Now we're going to go ahead and add the sauce right now, so let me put the camera down and do that. I am simply just going to pour the sauce right on in. Wow, that's a lot of sauce. Now this, I definitely don't want it splattering all over my car. I have spaghetti everywhere. So I'll need to monitor that. I'm going to go ahead and throw things away as I'm working so that we don't have too big a mess. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little so I can show any splatter. Mix it all up. Actually, it looks pretty good as is. A little runny. There's still water in there. And we'll set this here so it doesn't make a mess. I am going to put the lid back on it in case it decides to splatter. And we will add our frozen veggies at this point. So let me get them out. If I can find them. Basically, I'm looking underneath here. This is my little refrigerated area. I need some more ice for tonight to store the food. So I bag things up after I use them, and I try to use stuff within a day before it goes bad. So we're just going to go ahead and take this Dollar Tree mixed vegetables and pour all that in there, and we'll save the cheese to pour in there as a last step to let it melt and make our food look and taste delicious. I am going to go ahead and just pour all of this in there. Very unusual, right, to have corn and all this stuff in there, but believe me, I've done this before and it tastes really, really good. I get a little bit stuck here. Kind of hard to do things one-handed. I'll set the camera down and pour the rest in there before I make a spill. Looking at the amount of food I have here, it's hot. I think this is more than enough for one person. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit and mix things up. It's already starting to look really good. Yeah, this is like, I think this is enough to serve 4 or 5 people. We'll turn the heat up and let it boil down a little bit. I am going to go ahead and put the lid on it so it doesn't spill everywhere. Oops. I do things single-handed, it's kind of hard. We'll go ahead and let it boil up. Try to keep it from overflowing. So I'll continue once the sauce is thickened a little bit. Alright, at this time I am going to go ahead and add the feta cheese. Just to give it a little bit of saltiness. And also some cheesy stickiness. We'll put all of the feta cheese in here. I'll put the lid on it. And once the cheese has melted, I'm gonna say the food is done. I'll put the lid on this guy. Turn the heat down just a little bit. And let it bubble up until the cheese is melted. Alright, I'm gonna say the food is pretty much done at this point. It looks like things are melted. I am going to turn everything off. Shut off the heat here, shut off the gas. We'll scoop some of that up. And just for more cheesiness, I am going to add some of this grated Parmesan cheese from Dollar Tree. And some crushed red peppers to give it a little bit more spiciness. So let me go ahead and put together a serving and see what we got. Alright, I've got the Rotini on the plate. And we're going to pour on a little bit more cheese, Parmesan cheese here. Finish up our food. And some crushed red peppers. And this should do it. There we have it. Denoy's garden rotini, well not garden, but rotini, cooked in a van. Got a whole bunch left over. I think this is enough to feed like probably 4 or 5 people. I made too much. So I think actually, you know, seeing how many people it served, this is probably less than $1 a serving, even though I used a bunch of different ingredients. So I guess technically it would qualify for the dollar budget challenge because I didn't realize I would get so much of it. And I still have leftover sausage. You know, the sausage there that I use. Let's go ahead and do a taste test to see what this tastes like. It is a little bit runny, so next time I probably would drain out the water instead of just letting it sit. So let's go ahead and taste this and see what we've got. Not bad. Spicy because of the pepper I put in. The sauce is a bit runny. So next time definitely I think I need to drain the water. But everything did cook up fairly well. And it's got a very interesting taste. Maybe not the best rotini I've ever had just because it's so runny. But I think if I fix that problem, it would be really, really good. I think on a scale from 1 to 10, I probably give this dish right now, as is, maybe a 7, 7.5. Fix the runny liquid, and it probably jumps up to about a 9, 8.5, 9. The only thing that I think knocks it down is the Dollar Tree sausage is so-so. It's not the best tasting sausage. It's almost like a hot dog. Well, that pretty much wraps up this Cooking with Denoy episode. And I didn't intend it to be the dollar budget cooking, but after looking at how much is left in here, definitely this is under $1 for one serving. You could make enough to feed like 4 or 5 or 6 people. So until next time, everyone, I hope you are staying well, staying safe, cooking up good food, and eating well. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.